Hey! One more week, y'all. We are live. Back at it. Thursday Night Live. Hey, those watching replay, this is Thursday Night Live. That means that we are live at this moment. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, thanks everyone for being here. To all the members, to all the lurkers, all the great, wonderful moderators. We don't say it enough times, so thank you, moderators, for reaching out and doing. I mean, you go out of your way to make the live stream flow smoothly. Of course, I got to shout out to all my great and wonderful, amazing co-hosts, Mariah and TJ. Welcome.
Hey, everybody.
Hello,
Okay.
hello.
How y'all this evening?
Can't complain. Can't complain. How's the week been, guys? It's great to be here on Thursday night, as always.
Yeah, good to be back. Been a
And
long week, but it's almost over.
You got it.
yes, it's almost one more day. One more day. It's
That's
going
right.
to be okay.
Well, 2 more days for me, but that's okay.
Quick side note, that way people don't have to ask in the comments what's going on. But for those that missed this tank setup this past Saturday night, well, it's these are some of the species I collected last Saturday. There's some bluegill, some crawfish, ghost shrimp, wild mollies, some crawfish. There's some black top minnows in here as well.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a pretty good selection. Now, some people have been telling me I need to turn this into a biotope. So if I do that, I'll have to go back and collect some driftwood, some substrate, some plants. There's some pennywort on the banks. Some I've seen some what's it called? Hornwort.
Really?
There's some other plants I've seen, some floating plants that are not invasive. So those I won't be able to add. Even though that would be a true biotope, I'm not going to do anything illegal. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But sitting here watching it this past week, there's definitely a tank boss involved in this tank. For the bluegill, that is. Of course, it's usually the biggest one in the tank. It's like I'm trying to think. I can find them. He's about 2 inches long. Very beautiful colors. The colors are really popping. But yeah. Anyways, I thought I'll let you know what's going on with that tank.
What size tank is that, Vibes?
What?
What size tank is that?
It's a 20-gallon high.
20-gallon high.
It
Okay.
It looks big on camera.
Yeah, it does.
It's all about the view, y'all. About the angles. You know what I'm saying?
It looks very large on camera.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's avoid that.
You
Okay.
almost made your own stream not so family friendly there.
Yeah,
Vibes.
I quick backed off from it, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay, welcome everyone. I see I'm way behind in chat. Sorry about that. No, actually, I'm not sorry. This is Vibes is quite extreme. He's gonna do it the way he is going to do it. Welcome MNC, Fishion, welcome. Hagen Hill Design, welcome. Went to the chat. Pesatics, welcome. Way, #1 moderator on YouTube. Holly, welcome. Kara C, that's a new one. No, Kara C.
Kerosene may be new here, but definitely not new to the community, Vibes.
Oh, they're definitely over on Foxy Fishy's stream. Definitely. Melvin, welcome. Passing Wind, welcome. 3G, welcome. Fathom Aquatics, welcome. Jeff Kane, welcome. Scotty Nona, welcome. 3G, welcome. Foxy Fishies, the one and only, the best live stream of the night, y'all. Those are wondering. If you missed it, go back to replay. It was just right before this, a couple minutes ago. They just ended, so go check them out. Boots and Cats and Boots and Cats. Evening, Rachel. Welcome. tonight's topic. Hey, Alex, you're on a roll tonight. Favorite cichlids. Yep.
I think that's the second week in a row he's done that for us.
Yep. He is good. I gotta shout him out. Nancy B, welcome. Linda Worth, welcome. Shady Grady, welcome. Of course, Smokey the Fish Girl is here as well. Carl Works, welcome. Craig Catfish, welcome. Carl Works, I seen your question. You know what I'm gonna do before I forget it? I'm gonna start it. That way, if we have time, we'll come back to it. Vinoski, welcome. Sorry, y'all. I need outside aquatics. I need to become a Patreon official on that link so I can read the participation list. Anyways, down to the bottom of the chat, y'all. And tonight's live stream topic is, since Fathom Aquatics already put it in, I'm gonna just add it to the live stream. That way, those coming in know what it is without having to check. Anyways, thanks for coming in, everyone. Welcome. Yeah, favorite cichlids. Now, what we're going to do to start it off, it's going to be hey, quick disclaimer. This is just our opinion. Hopefully, y'all can learn something, be entertained, encouraged, etc. And if you got questions, put it in the chat. Make it easier for us on panel. Put at Vibes Aquatics either in front of it or behind it, if you can catch it, if you feel it's important enough. So, anyways, the 5 cichlids that I would say are my favorite. I'm going to go ahead down to the list and tell y'all what mine are, and then I'm going to have those in chat. That's it. I just thought of it, y'all. Let's have those in chat try to guess our number 1 cichlid out of the list that we say.
Each of our number ones?
Yeah.
I think it's interesting because we are all, anybody that's been around for a while with us knows we're all cichlid keepers. And
right.
Not just one variety in most cases, right? And so, in fact, all of us have multiple varieties. And so that may be a tough task.
Yeah, it is.
Craig says eye biter.
Yeah.
The eye biter is a pretty one. It's not on my top 5.
Hey, June, welcome. This is a question. Outside aquatics. What about Patreon? Okay. For those that don't know, moderators, put it in the chat. Fishfound.link is a community, is a website for the fish community. For those that are on YouTube, you can go in, sign in, and basically on the website, there's a calendar of all the live streams going on. You can find other people's channels. It says content. Hold on. There we go. If there's content from a certain channel that they put out, it'll show up on their page. Also, their email, if there's one connected to it. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, etc. All the links, how to find them. If there's any events coming up, it's going to be in the calendar. And every day in the calendar will tell you who's live where. Like tonight, I'm live at 7 o'clock every Thursday. And every Saturday at 9. Anyways, it'll show you who's live at what time of the channels. And if you're not in there, and if you do regular live streams every week, let Jenna P, Stephen P, Matt, I could keep going on the list, but just message them. Message Fisher.link and tell them about it, that you want to be added to the calendar. So people will get notified when you're live. So, yeah. And the Patreon thing, you can pay a monthly fee to become a Patreon, and you'll get some insight behind the scenes. And you like I was saying, with the Patreon.link participation list, that is also added to that. It's like a bonus for those that of us live stream regularly. you can go over there on Fish on that link and see all the participations that in the live. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully that answers your question, Outside Aquatics. And if it didn't, message me on Instagram or email me, and I'll try to help you out. But thank you. That's a good question.
Getting lots of good comments here. We got Hagen Hill Design says angelfish. So I assume that maybe was a guess for our top. I do have angelfish. I quite like them, but they are not on my top 5.
Yeah.
MNC says every cichlid but Malawi's here. So I assume that, I don't know if that's MNC keeps. Can't be keeps every cichlid. Maybe every location where we have cichlids, but I assume that's likes every cichlid but Malawi's.
Right.
Nancy
hey, Power
B.
Aquatics. Mark, welcome. Atkins, welcome.
Outside in Aquatics, there's a Pistos for sure.
Okay.
Nancy B says German blue rams are her favorites, but she currently only has angelfish.
Okay.
Fathom Aquatics says
I like this.
Is Texas cichlids.
Hey y'all, I'm gonna give a little more time, and then we'll go through our top 5. How about that? So you can give you some time to guess. That way, because hey, the true whatever. A backtrack from that. Koa has a whole list of them.
Wow.
The
That's
Geos, the Maltese, the Pistos.
Nanakara, Bimiculata, Neela, Belovis,
A lot of good ones.
And two different types of Oscars, which that should make our friend June, who's here, quite happy to see that.
All right.
Nice.
Lots of good choices.
Unfortunately, Oscars are not on my list.
They're not on my list either. Not that I dislike them, but with only 5 and so many cichlids to choose from, it was.
Correct.
We were talking about that backstage. That it was hard. There's plenty of them that we go ooh, and then we're like, oh,
yes,
no,
it's
can't make
definitely a
top
very
5.
difficult decision.
Sorry, we misunderstood. I think Vibes likes flower horn.
Yep. Big
like
flower horn guy there. Big flower horn guy.
Thanks, Jake. What? Vibes, save me! Hey, June, you're good.
Oh, excuse me.
Bless you.
Oh, excuse me. Goodness.
Bless
you.
Thank you.
Diego says angels, angels, angels all the way.
Nice. Angels all beautiful. Hey, for those that missed it, I think today was it the short I put out about angels, and those angels, if I remember right, those angels were photographed from ADG, Aquarium Domain. Aquarium Domain. ADG. That's a fish store there in Houston, by the way. Okay, I gave you all 3 minutes. Let's go ahead and go through and do it. Okay, make sure no questions. Okay, I'm gonna start it off, y'all.
Yeah, do we want to go like in order, like each of our top 5, then our top 4? We can talk about them, or do you want to just drain your list?
No.
Okay.
I did see one person in the chat that guessed mine, number 1.
Yeah, somebody got mine as well.
Nobody guessed my number 1. But I think we should start with our number 5s and go down to number 1.
You got it.
That way.
And I think we should each go, each of us tell our number 5, and each of us our number 4, and just keep going around like that.
I like it.
All right. Fair enough.
Who wants to kick it off with their number 5 pick?
Bolivian Rams.
Okay. Nice.
And what is it about the Bolivian Rams that gets you, Vibes?
There ain't a lot of people local here that actually keep them.
Started
off, it's out of the ordinary, and I don't know, just the color and everything, and you can keep it in a smaller tank. See, a lot of the cichlids that I've chosen, you gotta have a big tank. So I had to get some kind of fish in the list that you could keep in a smaller tank.
Sure.
So, I mean, just because it's number 5 on my list doesn't mean I hate them. It just maybe not one of my, yeah. Go ahead.
Cool.
My number 5 would be Geophagus, and that's just a broad range of Geophagus, like including all of them. Just because they've got so many different colors, and just I love the shape of them as well. They're such a differently shaped cichlid, in my opinion. And they look so much more like a saltwater fish to me, kind of. But they're just incredibly attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Any in particular that sort of, when you think about the Geophagus, are the ones that really kind of speak to you, or?
The redheads.
Yeah.
Definitely the redhead geos.
Yeah.
I'm
They
partial
have
to
such
the
a vibrant,
Spheni or Spheni.
vibrant color to them. It's just, and the way they move through the water, especially when their fins grow out, and they get that long flowiness to it. They're just so beautiful.
Yep. Yeah, I think Geophagus are great, and yeah, the redhead Tapajos, and I like the Spheni or Spheni. I don't know which. Fathom. Alex put it in here. Yeah, they're really pretty as well.
Yes.
I think just the sparkles on the sides of them and the fin extensions, like you said, Mariah, they're just beautiful fish.
And there's one that I kept in a store for a very brief period of time. I was able to sell them very quickly. Geophagus surinamensis. They don't have as much of a vibrant color to them. They're more silvery, but they are. The silver on them is so metallic, they almost look like they're not real. And they're very, very pretty.
Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful.
All right, TJ, what you got?
Yeah, so I think Nancy B gets me. While it's not my absolute favorite, my number 5 is the German blue ram. I haven't kept them since I was a little kid fish keeper, right? We had them in the community tank that we first set up in our living room when I was young. And just the colors and their behavior was just incredible. I just love the mix of the blue and the black and the yellow and the red. It just was one of those fish that you just look at them, and when they're colored up, they just look incredible. They're small. They tend not to bother anybody. I remember them being pretty good community inhabitants. I don't think we kept them warm enough. I know a lot of people, now feel like they're more like discus types of temperatures, and we weren't that warm. So I don't know that they probably ever lived to their full potential back then. But when I get to a place where I've got a spare tank and I can, put in the right temperature and set it up really nice, that's definitely that I would like to have. I think the German blue rams just are one of those that stick with me from my childhood and still kind of captivate me every time I see them.
Since we're talking about German blue ram, if I had a 75-gallon tank setup available, would that work for the German blue rams?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I think you could keep, if you just wanted a pair, you could probably do them in easily a 20 high. Easily.
Okay.
Right? Because they stay super small. They're maybe 2.5-ish inches? Not huge.
I've seen one is maybe 3 inches.
Yeah, right? They're smaller than the Bolivians, I believe. And I feel like they're just about as peaceful, but just the colors, I think, are incredible. So a 75, yeah, I think maybe you could put maybe a couple of pairs, and if you weren't really trying to like breed them, you just wanted a nice group, you could probably do them with something like pencilfish, tetras, any of that kind of thing. I think they would do just fine. Yeah, I think they're a great little fish for something like that.
Okay, I might add that to my list. Hey, hold on, y'all. I'm going to add that to my bucket list. How about that? I have been eyeballing them for a while, but I never went around really doing some research about them. But yeah.
Yeah, Hagen Hill said don't forget to keep them in warmer water. Yeah, they like that like 80. Hagen Hill, I've heard kind of like around 82-ish, something like that is probably their happy place.
Yeah, they
You can
love
confirm or deny if you've had different experience. But yeah, when I was younger, we kept them 77, 78, and I just don't think it was quite warm enough. They did fine, but
Mhm.
I don't think they ever really lived a full life. Yeah, Hagen Hill says, yep, 82.
Right.
Yeah, it was fairly
So,
difficult to keep the ones in like in a retail situation in the large
mhm.
tank setups. It was fairly difficult to keep those tanks as warm as that with as big as they are, even with the heaters on full blast. I mean, they're such an open setup on the top of the tanks that there's no way it's gonna be able to contain that heat.
Yep.
So it was fairly difficult to keep them that high, and you could really tell the difference in their behavior just in the tank and the way they ate, the way they moved. It was almost impossible to get them to breed, even if you had two of them in a tank by themselves.
Mhm.
So,
So
yeah, I
could
definitely
I
agree.
keep these guys with discus?
Temperature wise, absolutely. I don't believe either one is overly aggressive to the point where they would bother each other. I think the tank size is probably the most important part,
Yeah,
right?
your
So,
tank
Making
size
sure.
is definitely big. I mean, of course, you want to have enough room for the discus, but
right.
you absolutely want to have something that's more tall as well, so that way the rams have more of that bottom dwelling area,
Right.
and the discus are gonna have their own area to hang out as well. That
Mhm.
way, they don't have too much of a chance of intermingling if there were going to be some aggression.
Welcome, MS Aquascaping. Welcome, Mike B. Welcome. Quick run through the chat. Make sure I didn't miss anyone. Okay.
We got Alishon.
Hey, Alishon, welcome.
Oh, that's a heck of a list too, right there. That's a good list.
Yeah.
We should have asked Tom if he wanted to join us tonight. He first of all, he is a very knowledgeable fish keeper. He's not only do I know him through YouTube, but I know him through the local fish club here. So he and I see each other usually, at least every couple of months at the club meetings. And he's got all sorts of experience with some things that there's many of the things on his list right here that I don't know. I do see though he's picked one that I have in my top 3 actually.
Hmm. I saw that too. I wasn't going to say anything, but I saw that.
Yep.
DJ. How many
Hey
fish?
Sal.
Welcome. Bunny Viper. Welcome.
Hey Ivy.
Okay. Number
All
4.
right, so number 4. I'm
Uh,
probably going to get some flack for this in the chat, but I saw one person had it. M&C Aquatics said it. My number 4 pick is convict cichlids, believe it or not. I think they're absolutely adorable. It's almost no work to get them to breed. And I think we were discussing this a little bit backstage. TJ said that, they really do get a bad rap, not only because of their name, but just because of the fact that they're not extremely popular in the hobby anymore because of the fact that they are really aggressive and they do breed like crazy. So it can be difficult to maintain. However, I think that it's because of those reasons that I really, really enjoy those fish, especially when you think about as fish keepers, how many times we've been trying to get a pair of fish to breed and they just won't, even under the perfect conditions, the most perfect conditions in the tank, still can't get them to breed. Convicts, those things would breed in dirty dishwater.
right.
So
Don't try that
convicts,
at home.
do not try that at home.
Ah, so
Do not
true.
try.
Disclaimer that you did not hear that from us.
Indeed.
So true. Yeah. Some quite a bunch ago, someone said in the chat, um, "Are convicts just a generic Fantosa?"
Oh, boo.
Mm,
I have to
Boo.
throw it out there.
mm. Convicts take me back though.
Yeah.
Convicts are aggressive, but at least they won't bust their own skull against the glass.
Ooh.
Oh. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, I like
Shots
that.
fired.
Yeah. Wow.
Now we got some controversy going on here.
This is good. I like it.
But convicts take me way back, right? I've told the story before. I mean, I'm sure anybody who's been around for a little while here or heard me on other streams have talked about getting into fish keeping from my science teacher in, I think it was like 3rd grade or something like that. And one of the fish that she had in her freshwater aquariums was a pair of convicts. And I just was fascinated. So Mariah, when you brought up convicts, those are ones that, yeah, I mean, they have a reputation in the hobby, and they're not one of the fish that people, I think, today look at and think, oh wow, they're spectacular. But they are a beautiful fish and very interesting behaviors, and you can't argue with the parental care that they exhibit, right? I think there's a lot going for them, even though they're a lesser popular fish these days.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's especially that parental instinct that they have. Because I mean, I had a pair of them in a tank, a well overstocked tank at that, of African cichlids, mostly peacocks at that, which have their own fair share of aggression. They did very well in that tank, so well, in fact, that they did what convicts do and they bred. And I came in one morning and about 40 4-inch African cichlids are all on one side of this humongous tank. Meanwhile, I've got 2.5-inch cichlids, convicts, guarding their eggs on the other side. It was a magnificent sight to see.
Yep. Incredible. So I think they're good. They're a good choice for all the reasons you listed, Mariah.
Thank you.
Did you do your number 4 vibes?
No, but go ahead, TJ.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
Number 4, again, this will surprise no one who's listened to me talk about fish for any length of time. Feather fins. Feather fins are one of those fish. They're a Lake Tanganyikan fish. There's several different varieties. They're a medium-sized cichlid. They're, call it 6 to 8 inches, depending on the species. But the males just have this range of beautiful colors. There's one variety that has orange tips on the bottom of the bottom of the ventral fins. There's some that they have like a shimmery blue mixed with a black. I just think they're stunning. I just think they're incredible. If I ended up getting to a place where I had a tank big enough, because I think you probably need something like a 75 for most of them to have a group, I would seriously consider getting a small group of feather fins and growing them out. And I just think it would be a stunning Tanganyikan tank that I would really enjoy. And so I just have, ever since I learned what they were, I've always been a fan.
Nice. All right, Vibes, what you got? What's your number 4 pick?
Number 4, I got peacocks. This would be the cichlids from Lake Malawi in Africa. For those that know peacocks, of course, number one choice because of having them would be the colors of the males, the popping colors. Now, some people just prefer the peacocks that are the original, and not the OBs. Actually, here local in our fish clubs, the one fish club, when they ever have like a swap or auction, the OBs are not allowed to be sold or traded even. Now the other club, it's fine, trade whatever you want, but I get it why they prefer to try to keep it the original. Hey, both tanks, having the original peacocks versus having the OBs, they're both beautiful. But the OBs, I have a handful of them. I picked up here and there. Some of my peacocks had babies, etc. I got a handful of OBs. The OBs are amazing colors, but I'm kind of going back toward the original though, because like my what's it called? It's a blue face with a red belly. It's a
Red Empress,
red impulse.
right?
Oh, Red
Yep.
Empress.
Yep, you got it. Yep, that was actually given to me from another fish tuber. They picked it up from an auction, and someone told him it's a cichlid.
Hmm.
So
True.
I think,
True.
yeah, of course.
True.
So,
However,
it was only like
yeah, sure.
inch and a half long, 2 inches long, whatever. That's it. So sure, I'll take it home. I put it in my tank, watch it grow out, and it is stunning. It's like wow. It's I'm trying to think. Since I got it till now, it's like maybe 8 months old now. Maybe
Mm.
it has changed from being a gray, ugly cichlid to a stunning red impus. So peacocks are mildly aggressive. Some same with predator haps. Yes, they are. Um, hey, disclaimer: cichlids for the whole thing. Most cichlids can be aggressive, so keep that in mind. Those that haven't kept them yet, but do research because if I can keep them, if Vibes Aquatics can keep cichlids, so can you. But do your research. Make sure you take it big enough. That was a disclaimer of the night. So, anyways, back to the tank. Now the females depends on which ones you get. Most of them are just like a gray silver color.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But if you're hoping to get babies, I mean, you got to have the females in there as well.
Mhm.
But that might cause extra aggression, which it normally wouldn't cause. It's just males only.
Sure.
But,
See, now I am team OB all the way.
Mm-hmm. So
There's something about OB peacocks that I think, some of them are probably pretty average, right? Just depending on what the mix is, but there's just so many that I think have such beautiful colors
mm-hmm.
Mhm.
that I think for me, I agree with you. I think the attraction to the peacocks is the color.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I think just the right mix of OB to me
Right.
is beautiful.
Yeah. And I would start them off with at least a 75 gallon tank setup, 75 at
Yep.
least. But preferred go to 125 or bigger, and just put a humongous variety of different peacocks in there, and it's going to be gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
And in that tank, go some driftwood, a few rocks, but mostly have it open water. Because hey, here's a quick tip: if you give them too many places to hide, there's going to be territorial issues because they're going to try to say, "This is my home," and they're going to fight it. They're going to fight for it, So if you have less places for them to hide or to call home, the aggression won't be as bad. So that's a quick tip
Yep.
I don't know. I gotta disagree with you on that one, Vibes.
for the OBs and for the peacocks.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
for both indeed. Actually, and personally, now this may just be a personal thing for me, but I love keeping them in planted tanks, heavily planted tanks at that. One of my favorite things to use is Java ferns. They're nice and long and leafy.
Mm-hmm.
So it breaks up the sight line without really giving a solid hiding spot or, so to speak, a territory.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it just looks really, really beautiful. The solid green against those colors, especially depending on the color of your substrate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rocks that you're using. I know you guys have probably seen my early on the tank downstairs when I was originally keeping peacocks in it. It was planted with them, and it worked out very, very well for a while until, of course, I had an Mbuna in there, but that's another story for another day.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll agree with you on that, Mariah, about the plants. I've done it in the past with a fully planted tank with peacocks, which it's amazing.
And I think it also depends. It has a lot to do with the size of your tank, of course, and the stocking of your tank.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
True.
I wanted to catch just a couple of comments here, Vibes. Tom Alishon was replying back to my comments around the feather fins, and said the Furcifer rosiva is maybe the most spectacular colored featherfin cichlid, impossible to find these days. Yeah, I don't know that they're a super popular. Like, you don't hear a lot about feather fins, and so I think that's probably part of it. But I think they're amazing. And then Ian, right below it, said, "I've never kept Malawi cichlids, not my style. I've only kept one Malawi. That's when I was still fairly a young fish keeper, and I had deep water haps." And that was it. Everything else that I've kept has been one variety of Victorian, and then a bunch of Tanganyikans.
Yeah. Hey, welcome, Mister. Shout out to Kayla. She's amazing, y'all.
Hey.
Welcome.
Hey, Kalish.
How you doing? Hey, it's been a while. I hope you're doing okay. All right. The number 3 in our list. Go ahead, Mariah.
All right, y'all. My number 3 pick for tonight is, drum roll, please. I knocked y'all to the side. Number 3 pick is
So excited.
Discus. Yes, my number 3 pick is Discus. Now, surprise, surprise, I've never actually kept Discus myself. Never kept them in a retail setting. Never kept them at home personally, ever. However, the 150 gallon that has been a very much long-term project downstairs will be the future home of Discus. So I am very excited to keep them. It will be my first time, which is also part of the reason why it's taking such a long time to get this tank set up, because I want to do as much research as possible and get as many different opinions as possible about different ways to do different things with them. But part of the reason that they made my list is because, I mean, they're just brilliantly colored. From the different types of wild caught that you'll find out there to of course, the tank bred ones are absolutely amazing. The color patterns, the variations in them, and even the females are very vibrant of many different varieties of Discus, which is really, really cool to me. And they just look incredibly graceful the way they swim through the water. And the fact that they are a cichlid and they're a larger cichlid that still has a somewhat schooling behavior is incredibly beautiful. I mean, to see the fish, a fish the size of a dinner plate with 10 of its best friends just gracefully gliding through the water, they're so pretty to look at in the tank. Also, I think they get kind of a bad rap for being difficult to keep and being very delicate. But after doing a lot of the research I have done, I think I'm going to disagree with that as of now. But we'll see what happens. Well, the reason being is because from what I've seen, the things that I've seen, read, and the videos that I've watched, it doesn't sound like it's that difficult. As long as you get everything correct as far as general water parameters of wherever either they were bred or caught from, like any other fish that we would keep. You got the right temperature, you got the right setup of tank, and everything should be fine.
Hey, Vibes, do you have a smoke situation going on in that fish tank behind you?
Is that a good thing?
Well, that's why I didn't. Sorry, Mariah, I didn't want to cut you off. I just saw. Good. I just don't want your place burning now. I don't know what the heck it was.
Can y'all see a little better there?
Yeah, I see it. What is it?
It's a mist effect.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I got concerned there for a moment. Sorry.
No, I appreciate that, Bill. TJ, you're awesome. Looking out for me. Yeah, it's a UNS atomizer mister.
Okay. Good. I saw what looked like smoke, and I was like, "Oh my god, we got a light on fire over there, or what the heck's going on?" So good. I'm glad it's nothing.
Fathom. Thanks, Fathom. Yes.
Got it.
Yeah, it's something I picked up as a holiday gift for myself back like 3 months ago, whatever that's been. And anyways, when I was setting this tank up here, I was like, you know what? Why not throw it on that tank? It's gonna be cool.
That's neat.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the regular programming now. Fully investigated what seemed like a suspicious situation, and all is clear.
Yeah.
But no, I was just saying, granted, there of course there's things that could go wrong with, and that's with keeping any fish. We all know that there's things like a crash. You could have blowouts, all kinds of sorts of things could go wrong. But we don't think about the stuff that could go wrong. We think about the stuff that we're going to do right to avoid stuff going wrong.
And I gotta agree with you. I think discus are stunning. Just they're graceful. Their interesting body shape. The variety of colors that exist. You've got everything from kind of the more wild looking ones that still have kind of the striping down the side to the what are they? They're like the red melons or whatever that are like the bright red and orange colors.
Right.
Yeah. I can't argue that one whatsoever. Again, I think that'd be another one if I had a tank big enough, right, that I could really do a group of them justice. Discus would definitely be on my list of future wants.
I like those that they were in the chat. That thing is on fire.
But you got to do it like Alicia Keys would do it.
Yeah. True. Valor Aquatics. He's smoking up his fish.
Vibes is on fire.
That's the way to do it.
There you go. That's the way you do it.
That's the way. Nicely done, Mariah. Nicely done. And very appropriate since she just showed up at the halftime show with Usher at the Super Bowl. So
yes.
Rather timely.
Ooh. I was not expecting that to show up tonight.
It
did.
I
guess since it just happened.
It's our very own intermission show.
Yeah. So, hey, since you mentioned it, TJ, what was your favorite part of the whole thing, the Super Bowl?
Favorite part of the whole. So I think the fact that it was a good game. Right? But the two halves of the game, extremely different. The first half of the game, so tight, all the defense, right? It was super low score. It looked like, it could be anybody's game. Second half of the game, it was close, right? There was still drama all the way to the end, but you could really start to tell that Kansas City was picking up steam and that they had figured some things out, after halftime. So, so I think for me, I think the game was really good, and I always like that because you never know. Sometimes some of those games are an absolute blowout, and so how about you? What did you think of the game?
My favorite part of the whole thing was, of course, the snacks.
Oh, because you had your own little Super Bowl soiree.
Yeah. It was me and like 5 of my good friends.
Yeah. Did you invite Mike?
No. He was busy.
He was busy? Okay.
We had nachos with jalapenos in it. We had chicken dip, chicken pasta. We had some sliders. some homemade cinnamon rolls, coffee.
I
So,
had
yeah.
sushi.
Ooh,
That's probably potentially a controversial topic for some of our viewers, but
yes. Eating
I
sushi.
I do enjoy eating fish, both cooked and not cooked. So that was kind of my little treat for the night. Not very traditional Super Bowl types of food,
right?
but it was quite good. So I was
Yeah.
not disappointed.
And then for the Super Bowl part, it'd been the halftime show and the commercials.
So the halftime show speaks to me because I'm a child born in the '80s. So
Right?
when I was in the late '90s, early 2000s, kind of when that music was coming out, was like my high school, college days. So that sort of I kind of identify with that time period of music. So yeah, I did enjoy that. Alex said, I had sushi because my cichlids were acting up. Yep.
That's all that.
I sat right there in front of the tank and ate it in front of them.
Yep.
No, I did not.
Yeah. Basically, it told them, y'all behave,
Yeah.
or you're next. How about you, Mariah?
Okay, first of all, that game was horrible. It was trash, first of all. Second, halftime
What?
show was trash. The best part of the halftime show was Ludacris's performance. Third, in case y'all didn't know, the Super Bowl is scripted. But the reason I said it was trash is
Yeah, I
because
need to hear this. I'm very concerned.
new rules, new overtime rules. Excuse me. Excuse me, first of all. What? What? For why? For why? And why do I care what Taylor Swift thinks every time there's a freaking play involving Travis Kelce? I don't care. I don't want to see her face. It's not the Taylor Swift Bowl, it's the Super Bowl. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, wait, no, I'm not done. The commercials were also trash. What? What kind of commercials were those? The best part of the game is when it went off. I was exhausted after that game. That game
you were
drew
exhausted.
so much of my energy, and it just now is coming back in the form of rage.
Ooh.
Mariah, did you feel like you played all 4 quarters? You were so tired?
All 4 quarters and the second game.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Ooh.
The whole
So
new game.
you were really worn out.
Okay, now I'm done.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, I like the chat. Yes, worst commercials ever. Yeah, we all know that Taylor Swift decided the outcome of the Super Bowl a while ago, right?
Of course she did, because her favorite number is 13. And what's 8 plus 7? 13. What's Travis Kelce's number? 13.
Yep.
No,
Who
87.
were they playing? The 49ers. What's 4 plus 9? 13.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like
that's
that.
Also,
accurate.
it was her 13th Super Bowl that she attended.
Is it really?
Or 13th football game that she's attended for the NFL.
Oh, I was gonna say 13th Super Bowl. Holy smoke, she's going to a whole bunch of them.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
I'm
Anyways.
most sad now that I wasn't at Kalish's Super Bowl party.
Yeah.
Kalish made homemade beer, cheese, and soft pretzels and barbecue tri-tip.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
All of a sudden, my sushi dinner sounds not so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Okay.
All right, guys.
That was a
What y'all
halftime
got for
show.
number 3 pick?
Number 3. You go, Vibes.
Okay, number 3 on my list is the Maltese, the showrunners.
Number 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The reason that's on some list, not only because I enjoy watching them, these little fish were this way, that way, I mean, all over the place. And I found out when you have 6 of them, they don't stay 6 of them. They breed some more, and some more. So eventually you'll have 40 of them, 50 of them, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And the cute, the little blue eyes. You get what I'm saying? And hey, you can keep these in the 20-gallon just fine. Now, I would recommend going with a 20 long over 20 high because you give them more of a footprint
Yep.
for more of a colony size. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and they're very simple to keep in my book.
I can't argue a thing that you've said. The only thing that I would say is if you can do a bigger tank, do a bigger tank because they will use the space
Mm-hmm.
and they are the coolest little guys, right? They build the very complex by fish standards, right? I feel like a very complex social structure and always redecorating every
Right.
day. You go to the tank and it's different than it was the day before, and they move the shells. M&C said, 50 low boys work best. Yeah, I
Yes.
know. Primetime Aquatics, Jason and
Yeah.
Joanna, they had Maltese that they kept in a 50 low boy and really loved. I think they loved the tank and it fit the Maltese really well because of
Yes.
just, again, like you said, it's the footprint.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, what I went with, I've gone with a 40 breeder because of the footprint.
Me
Um,
too.
it's hey, if you already have a tank, don't go out and buy another one because someone tells you it's better, etc. If you got a tank that's going to work for it, do it. I had the 40 breeder. Why not set it up for them?
Hmm.
And if you want a cichlid that really doesn't affect if it's a male or female for the color
Hmm.
wise, this is a great choice. Now the males tend to get quite a bit bigger in size versus the
Yep.
females, but other than that, the color is very similar in color.
Do you notice how their fins are yellow on the edges?
Mm-hmm.
They're so small that you could see them from a distance, and you kind of are like, "Oh, they're all right, right?" They're
Right.
not like a vibrant color, but you get up close and you see the yellow edging on the fins, and you see the intricacy of the striping pattern. They really are a great, and the blue sparkly eyes.
Yes.
They're really a pretty little fish, but you have to sit there and pay attention
Yeah.
and look at them. But
And
they're a great one to sit in front of.
for mine, the right head behind that Fantosa painting
Yep.
right here. And I'll sit here on my recliner backwards, looking at just on my arm, just watch them.
Yep. Yep.
It's so fascinating watching them. Hey, quick shout out, quick. Sorry, y'all. We gotta do this. The local Austin,
Hey,
checking
Mike.
in, working and looking. Hey, bro. Long time no see. Long time no talk. How you doing? Hopefully you're holding in okay. For those that don't know, this is a local club member, a local hobbyist, and a fellow fish tuber. Go check him out. Go give him some love. He does live streams every Wednesday night. I think 11 o'clock p.m. Central Time. So,
And hopefully he's going to come back to the Clash this year because I had one heck of a time chatting with Mike
yeah,
at the
he's
Keystone
awesome.
Clash.
Okay, back to the Maltese.
Yep.
Missa, do Maltese like larger or fine sand, or does it matter? Um, I used the fine sand. Actually, hey, what I used was the Carib Sea, a Fiji pink that's made for the saltwater tanks. I used that sand in that tank.
That's what
They
I
like
have in my tank as well.
it.
And I think they're adaptable, right? You can use them, I think, on the super fine. If you like the super fine sand, it's okay. I'm also using a Carib Sea, like an aragonite type of sand. They're smaller grains, right? So they're not small grains, but they're not huge because the Maltese have such tiny mouths. But they'll pick, I don't know, call maybe 5 of the like little
Right.
grains in their mouth. That's about what they can fit, and they'll move it around. So it's not super important. And M&C kind of said the same thing. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, as long as it's not really big, I think it's fine.
Right. Yeah, basically, they're able to pick it up and move it.
Yep.
Yeah, it was real fun trying to. That was one of the reasons why I had to get rid of the Mbuna that I had because it was real fun trying to manage him not throwing a humongous mouthful of sand into my intake every 5 seconds.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
He was destroying my filters and just, I mean, he was a menace in my tank. He's got a great new home now. He's doing great, but not in
Good.
my house.
Um, MNC did have a good point. And the striping varies from fish to fish. Yeah, they do have some of the variety.
I've noticed the same. I've got one of them that the stripes have like a crosshatch within the stripe. It is so striking to look at them. It's like not a solid white line. It's like
Right.
it's got little slashes.
Mm-hmm.
Like looks like it was drawn on all the way. It's amazing. I think they are just the coolest little guys.
Right. And
And Mike says he will be at the Clash.
nice.
Yes,
Awesome.
yes. Can't wait.
And here local, um, I'm kind of still confused why the value on the Maltese they're still pretty high cost yet for what.
Yeah.
Because for me, I mean, they breed like rabbits to me. So why should they be so expensive?
Hmm.
Okay, I understand maybe a little bit. They're a cichlid, that's small cichlid in the world, and you can keep it in a small tank.
Mm-hmm.
Which, well, I live here in Austin, close to Austin, Texas, and here in Austin, a majority of hobbyists live in a small house, so or in apartments or a trailer house, so they can't keep a big tank, you know.
Yeah.
So that draws the value of the nanofish up, you know. And I did notice that most of the local fish stores here local struggle with keeping these in stock. So
Mm.
I guess maybe the ability ain't there. I don't know. But
Well, and part of me wonders within a community of experienced fish keepers, I think most people have heard of Maltese. A lot of people have kept them, but I wonder outside of that how popular they are.
true.
I don't know that your average person really thinks about them or knows about them. I would imagine that if a store kept them and people could see them in that environment, I think that more people would keep them.
Right.
You know, to see the behaviors and see how they live in the shell. Just a very unique kind of setup.
And me personally, this is my opinion. I would keep it in a species only tank because
Yeah.
yeah. Hey,
Yep.
welcome in, DD. Good to see you. How you doing?
Hey, Dee.
Maltese are expensive because of the height. True. MNC says he gets 45 each for his at the fish store. Nice. Yes, you just see the heart shape shadow behind Mariah. That's awesome.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, here local. I prefer to sell to someone local individual versus the fish store. So I'll get a little more than the fish store will give me. So and also, I rather yeah, I rather give it to another hobbyist. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I rather
Mm-hmm.
just give it away to another hobbyist than just sell to the fish store. That's just me. That's my opinion. Anyways, moving on. TJ, what's your number 3 on the list?
Number 3. This is where my buddy Tom and I agree. He had on his list, and my number 3 is Neolamprologus leilupi, also called the lemon cichlid sometimes.
Yeah.
This is another throwback to when I first learned about Tanganyikan cichlids when I was young, and just the colors are just incredible. You've got both males and females that exhibit the yellow colors. They've got the little bit of the blue on the face. I think they're just a really interesting, a very neat type of Tanganyikan cichlid, a rock dwelling cichlid.
Mm-hmm.
They do typically form a pair bond and exhibit the parental care.
Yeah.
Just a really interesting, and I don't know that you need to keep them in a giant tank, right? So again, I think for me, I tend to keep smaller tanks. 40 breeders are my biggest ones, and you could keep them easily in a setup like that, and have a pair probably or two in there, and they would do great. And so yeah, I got them number 3 just because I think they're beautiful and they're easy. And Tom says it here. They range from bright yellow to a deep orange. Yeah, I think Tom, that's by collection location. Is that true? I think that's what I've heard. That depending on where they would originate from in the lake, that the color tends to vary. But you probably know more than I do as to what causes that.
Nice. So, for the substrate, would you go with the Aragonite as well?
I would, yeah. So for me, I think on just about all the Tanganyikans or other Africans that I would keep, I probably would just put them on the Aragonite because I like the buffering capacity. My water here is not super hard, and it just gives a little bit of extra.
Right.
And it's one of those that, again, we talk about not chasing it. I think that this kind of keeps it so it buffers it over time, and you don't have to worry about continually trying to sort of make sure you got your recipe right.
Right.
Oh, MNC, there's a purple variant of the Lupi too, but it's hard to find. I have never seen the purple. I'm going to look that up right now while we're here because that is purple Le Lupi.
And while you're looking that up, TJ, Mariah,
Yep.
we don't go ahead with your number 2 on the list.
Yeah, sure. I'm actually looking it up as well. King. But my number 2 pick for this evening list is Anil Amperlogus Brichardi in particular.
And why is
aka
that?
Fairy Cichlid. I hate to sound like a broken record here, but I mean, they're just so beautiful. They're incredibly graceful when they move through the water. And not only that, but they're fast. I don't know if you guys have ever had to try to catch one in a net, but they are incredibly fast when they need to be. But when they're just hanging out in the water or have you got a small group of them together, they are so beautiful. And they have the name Fairy Cichlid for a very good reason.
Right.
They get just that long, stringy fin, and it just the way they flow through the water, just the same as some of the other fish that I spoke about before. That would be my number 2 pick.
So, what size tank would you recommend for them?
Those are another one that you don't really necessarily need a huge tank for, right? I mean, you could get away with a minimum of about a 40 breeder in those. Depending on how many you have in there, you could easily do a pair or even a group of like 3 or 4 in that size tank. Ideally, you want to have them in something a little bit bigger. Honestly, let's be real. Fish keepers, we always want to have bigger than what's necessary.
Right.
Nobody wants a super small apartment. Why get your fish a small tank, even if it's only a small fish?
Right.
But they don't need a super huge tank. They don't need like a 150 or 120 or anything like that. They could absolutely do well in a 40 or even a 55.
Yeah, I got mine in a 40 breeder.
There you go.
And like you said, they are very
Yours are some of
beautiful.
the prettiest, most healthy I've seen in quite a while.
They're pretty, and they're also another one that's like a colony breeder, right? So they tend to exhibit sort of colony care for the next generation that's growing.
And they also have like that kind of not only colony care, but that somewhat schooling behavior in the way that they move through the water, which is really cool.
Yep.
Yes. So, TJ.
Yep.
What did you find? A purple variant.
Yeah, so I did find one on Google. They are stunning, assuming that the picture is accurate, but they are the one that I found. It was mostly purple with a little bit of yellow on it. Gorgeous fish. MNC, you give me terrible ideas because that is one of those that I was like, wow. again, I think MNC said hard to find, so that may not be a big problem. But I was like, wow, they're extremely beautiful.
Mhm.
And Tom confirmed. He said yes. Ad Conning's Tanganyikan book shows the collection points being the variants in the lay lupis and the colors.
Yeah.
This is not a very clear picture, but would this be the one that you were referring
That's
to?
the one that I saw. Yeah.
So those
Okay.
are also called lemon cichlids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lay lupi are often called lemon cichlids. That's kind of one of their trade names.
Yeah,
Okay,
these ones
PJ,
are
what's your number 2 on the list?
very
My number 2 on the list are Victorian cichlids, Lake Victorian cichlids. When I was younger, I kept a group of zebra obliquidans that I ended up getting from a local Tanganyikan breeder in the town that I grew up in New York. And so I really thought they were so interesting. The colors on the males were just gorgeous. And for me, I think you guys know, fish that are in a situation where they need some conservation help is something that really kind of appeals to me. That's the White Cloud project that I continue to work on.
Mhm.
And I feel the same way kind of about the Victorians, right? We know that Lake Victoria and some of the other surrounding lakes, as populations have continued to advance, we know it's impacted the lake, and there's a number of species that existed not that long ago that they're unable to find now. And so for me, it's one of those that I look at and say they're extremely beautiful, and they're kind of in that situation of maybe needing to be helped to keep the populations going. And so that for me, that's what really put the Victorians kind of over the edge. And I also want to stop real quick and just acknowledge Vibes that you got a $2 super sticker from
No
Diego.
way.
Yep.
Oh wow! Thank you so
Woo!
much.
Thanks, Diego. Much appreciated.
Hey,
Awesome.
hey, I know some people don't like this, but you know what? I'm gonna do it anyways.
Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat.
Thanks so much, Mr. Asad. Hopefully that kind of helped you out a little bit. Appreciate it. We don't expect it, but we enjoy it. So, anyway, thanks again. Okay. So which fish is the best out of Victorians, and what size tank would you recommend?
The best out of Victorians.
Yeah.
I think there's so many, right? So I talked about the zebra obliquidans.
Yeah.
Foxy says she's got about 100 of them growing up right now. That originally she got the parents from Jeff Kane.
Ooh.
Those, I think there's the tomato hap. There's the species 44.
Yeah.
But at the Fish Club last year, we had I think it was Kim Peterson was the gentleman's name from Europe, came and spoke at our club all about going and collecting in Lake Victoria. And he's got a Facebook group that he updates regularly. And the variety of fish that come out of Victoria are incredible. There's so many that aren't a normal staple in the hobby, aren't ones that you would ever really hear of. And every one of them is more beautiful than the last. It's really really fun to check and see the different varieties that are out there. I think most of them tend to be, a little bit on the medium size, call it 6-7 inch type fish. I think that to me says if you're going to keep a group of them, probably a 75 is maybe where you'd want to be. I would think something like that would be comfortable for a decent group of them. If that was something that you wanted to keep and do like a breeding group or something like that, you could certainly, obviously, you can go bigger and keep more of them. I do think with some of them, they can be fairly on the aggressive side, so you've got to make sure you give them the room and set them up properly so that you don't end up having a total massacre in the tank, hopefully.
Right. Hey, Bunny, let's rephrase that. Did he just say he had going to the chats? Hey, okay. I appreciate it. How about that?
We absolutely appreciate super chats.
Mhm.
Thank you for again for doing that, Diego.
Yeah. And Alishon, I haven't seen someone talk about that community in a long time, that website. Dave's Rare Fish.
Mm-hmm.
For those that don't know, that's actually local to me. Okay, an hour and a half from me.
That counts as local.
In Texas, it's local.
Yeah. It's down in San Antonio. I got to hang out with him a couple times. He's awesome. And yeah, he has some, like it says, Dave's Rare Fish. He has some rare species, y'all. Anyhow.
Yeah, Tom was commenting to say that Victorians were pretty common in our local fish club 10 or 15 years ago, and now not so much.
Hey, Craig, last job. Awesome! Okay. My second on the list is discus. Now, Mariah touched on a lot of good points, but part of one thing I picked from discus is the slow moving fish. They just relax and watch them. Like you said, the slow dinner plate. Just moving loose. I enjoy that. And not only the colors, but I'm kind of getting more. The more I'm into the hobby, I'm kind of going more and more to the slower moving fish. I don't know. It's just more relaxing to me.
Yeah, I said all the things I've got to say about the discus before when Mariah came up with them. Just really neat, and I agree with kind of all the things you both said about why they're so cool.
Did we all say your number 2 on the list?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, Mariah, we'll take it off with number 1.
All right. Before I do number 1, I'm going to do my honorable mention on my list, which is the Jack Dempsey. And that also includes the electric blue Jack Dempsey.
Ooh.
With that, I want to have a little side note. Just you guys, there's so many different types of cichlids, so many different variations, that they're all such amazing different fish to keep. They have such different behavior types, swimming patterns, shapes, sizes, colors, you name it. The cichlid type of fish is just almost endless when it comes to the different types that you can come across. And they're discovering new species almost every day. So I just wanted to mention that. But yeah, my honorable mention would be Jack Dempsey's, including the electric blue. I've fallen in love with them. I didn't really used to be a big fan of them just because of their aggression levels. And I thought, that they were kind of a basic looking fish to me. That view has drastically changed since keeping them personally in my own tank at home and being able to watch them grow and see how their colors change and develop over time. So with that being said, that is my honorable mention. And
nice.
To top that off, my number 1 pick on the list would be the Alanacara, aka the peacocks. I love all of them. I love the originals all the way up to the OBs. We were discussing that a little bit earlier when Vibes brought it up. And everything that you talked about, I agree with absolutely. From the behavior to the extremely vibrant colors of the males. And I mean, just the look, especially of an all-male tank, is heavily planted all-male tank with some extremely bright colors and different variations in there. You can't go wrong with the Alanacaras. So that's my number 1 pick.
Nice. Hey, Asia, Fishwit, welcome.
Hey, Fishwit.
Since you mentioned Mariah,
oh wow, look at that.
And for those that don't know, I got to shout out to Ilna. This is a Fishwit, Asia. This is her fish.
Oh wow,
that's
beautiful fish.
It's gorgeous. Yeah.
So, welcome, Asia. You're awesome. Hey, I always appreciate you stopping by every time. Anyways, TJ, what's your number 1 fish?
I got to stop first.
Go ahead.
So I see a comment here by what we've been calling Hagen Hill Designs, replying back to Mike B about the new song, and he said, and they said thanks for pronouncing Hagen correctly. Is it actually Hagen Hill? So I'm asking that to see if you guys know me. I like to make sure that we call
Oh
people
my
by the right
God,
name.
it is Hagen.
Is it Hagen instead of
Look at
Hagen?
it. It's exactly the same as Hagen Dazs.
Okay. Yep. So we'll wait till they can confirm it in the chat. But I saw that and I wanted to call it out because if it's actually Hagen Hill Designs, then that's it. We change it from here on out. We call them by the right thing. So and then I am going to give an honorable mention. You guys already know what it is, but for everybody who's listening in from home, I am giving honorable mention specifically to Mariah's two Texas Cichlids. And I said it backstage. We've seen them a number of times just through the camera, never in person.
Right.
And they always look stunning. And I have, if it was before I had met Mariah, I would have never paid attention to a Texas Cichlid. But now, having seen it, I look at those and every time I go, wow, they're really pretty, right? The spots and I just think they're fantastic.
Thank you so much.
And so that's my honorable mention is specifically her Texas Cichlids. I just think they're incredible.
Thank you.
My real number one are shell dwellers as a group.
Ooh.
So many beautiful ones. So Shady Grady was right that I was going to pick shell dwellers.
Mm-hmm.
So Shady Grady picked it out. That was my number one. So many different varieties. I've kept Maltese. I have them now. I've kept Brevis in the past. But if you think about, there's the gold ocellatus and the blue ocellatus. There's the I think it's Cygnus or Signatus. The Cygnus, I think, is what it is. I think they're called the black ocellatus sometimes. So many different varieties. They're all very different. They behave in different ways. Some form pairs. Some are more the colony groups like the Maltese. You've got the Similis, which look kind of like the Maltese, but they're a bit different.
And the bigger.
A little bit bigger. Striping is different, right? So they have the stripes that go all the way through the gill plate, whereas the Maltese, the stripe stops behind the gill plate, and the shading is a little bit different. Maltese are a little lighter. The Similis are a little darker brown. You've got the Calurius, right? Just so many different varieties that are a shell-dwelling fish. I just think they are just the neatest things. They've adapted to live in an environment that was there. Snails died, left their shells behind, and they occupied that space. And I feel like that just screams of their level of intelligence, adaptability to be able to figure out over time how to do that to survive. I just think they're super cool, and they're just my all-time favorite. They were a favorite when I was a kid. They're a favorite now. I think that I'll always have some sort of shell dweller in the house. And yeah, Shady Grady says, I knew it with smiley faces. You absolutely nailed it.
And hey, TJ, since you mentioned it, I went and found this, and here they are. I don't know if you guys can see that very well.
Oh, yep. That's a video of them, right?
Wow.
Yeah, that was when one of them had to be separated into a smaller tank because the Mbuna I had in the tank at the time was being a huge bully and ended up nipping at the female so much that she had to be separated. So, but at the time I didn't know there was a male and female. I thought I had two males, but they grew up and I found out different.
Yeah. Yep. But they are well deserving of the honorable mention. Tom says here the speciosus is the black shelly, and he says they're nasty.
Okay.
Cygnus, he said, is a Neolamprologus species similar to a Burchardi. So I had the names incorrect, but that's what I'm thinking of. They've got like the black edging to the fins, and I'm not surprised with them being kind of nasty though, Tom, because I feel like don't they look very similar to an ocellatus? They may not be directly an ocellatus, but they look like them. And ocellatus, I think, can be kind of a little bit more of a nastier than we might see with the Maltese.
Right.
So, yep. So shell dwellers all the way. That's my number one cichlid.
Also, guys, really quick, I don't know if y'all saw it or not, but they did confirm in the chat it is Hagen. Like the ice
Hagen Hill
cream.
Designs. That's it forever now. We will make sure that we
No, Hagen.
greet them correctly.
Yeah. Okay. I see. Alex put Asia on Fishwood's link in the chat, Instagram. Go. Hey, this is a shout out for this evening. Go check her out on Instagram. She has amazing photography over there of a fish. She does a great job. Go give her some love. And hey, if you give her enough love, she might start a YouTube channel. So she has potential. She has wisdom. She has knowledge, and we would love to see her side of the whole thing. So yeah, we'll give her some love. And also,
Followed.
tonight, Chattanooga the Ed is going live after us at 8:30. So tonight, hashtag send you over is hashtag favorite cichlid. So
Nice.
yeah, and then to go with my honorable cichlid for tonight, it'll be the Angels.
That's your number one.
No, that's honorable.
That's your honorable mention. Okay. Yeah.
I love, like I said, I'm going more and more to the slow moving fish, and they kind of fall in that category. They have the beautiful colors. They normally are a little cheaper than discus.
Yep.
So, but they still have the colors. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, they do. They're pretty, and they do the usually the graceful swimming. They've got that body shape. Yeah, I'm with you.
DD, what's the hashtag for? The hashtag favorite cichlid. That send you all over to Chattanooga Ed live stream here in a bit. And my favorite, I've seen two so far in the chat that has said it. Curl Works way back, and then her Bunny Viper, Fantosa. I mean, I gotta put my number one because my logo, Vibes Aquatics, that's a Fantosa, and my favorite fish is the Fantosa, and my favorite his name is Vibes. So I mean, I gotta give the right dude to the right place, you know. The reason they're my favorite, they kind of got me into the cichlid world, but they're a slow-moving, big cichlid with a weird hump on the head. That, I mean, yeah.
But they're beautiful. They've got the blue on the fins under the light, and yeah, that's another one where I see them, and every time I'm like, ooh, super neat, really, really pretty fish.
So yeah,
definitely. Hagen says, like the beta, the pronunciation doesn't matter.
We appreciate that. We've been doing it wrong for weeks at this point. So when I saw that, I wanted to call it out because I think it's only fair. And MNC says Meleagris and Calypterus Shelleys. Yes, those are other names of some Shelleys that I huge males and much smaller females on the Calypterus. Yeah, that Tom said that. Yep. So
since we're talking about cichlids tonight, you know, there was a question way back in the chat that someone asked, and I clipped it. Having a hair design. We just picked up a pair of blood parrots. What do you think about them?
Blood parrots look like a real messed up goldfish. It looks like a goldfish and a convict cichlid had a baby.
I will say I don't totally dislike them. I
Not
think
a
they're
fan.
kind of.
though.
You're not a fan of them?
No, I think they look kind of goofy looking, and they're not very intelligent fish.
But they look goofy in like a sweet way, I feel like.
Yeah, I would agree with that. They do have kind of this cute little smile thing going on.
Yep.
But personally, I wouldn't keep them just because they're not very attractive to me as far as just looking at them in a tank.
Yep. Yep. I don't know that I'd ever keep them, but I don't have
I don't
a
like their
visceral
shape.
reaction to them.
Yeah.
One thing we didn't do right is we didn't say that Coro put a question in the chat. Remember earlier, Vibes? We didn't end up getting to it, so something we could look at addressing it in the future.
Yeah, I clipped that one up as well. But I put that
Awesome.
in my notes, and we'll talk about it some other time.
Yep, perfect.
Because that's a different topic. So.
Yep.
But that was a good question though. Hey, that's a reminder to everyone. If you have questions, ask away. Don't be afraid. Just because it's not the topic of the night, ask anyways. All right. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Now about the blood parrot, my opinion about that, I've kept them because I rescued them in the past. But if I had to go buy it or something like that, I don't appreciate it too much because they are a hybrid, the kind of man-made fish. So I'm more like the original, Stay with how they come in the wild. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion,
Yeah, MNC says the true parrots or the hybrids, right? And I will say, if I had to pick between the two, it'd definitely be the true parrot. Those are a beautiful cichlid as well.
Yes. Yeah.
I would agree that the true parrots are much prettier than the hybrids. The hybrids have just more of that kind of deformed, funky looking shape to them. That I'm not really attracted to.
Yep.
But hey, if you want to keep a blood parrot or any hybrid fish out there, do it. Just because someone on YouTube says it's ugly or it's not natural, don't worry about what they gotta say. Even what God's gotta say, don't worry about it. Hey, if you're happy, the fish is happy. That's the main thing.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So, but before we head out, y'all, I see we're over the time limit.
Yep.
Ed is live.
Yep.
Hashtag favorite cichlid. But before we head out, Mariah, what do you guys say to the fish fam?
Same thing as always, y'all. I love you guys. Thanks for being here this week. And if you're watching replay, come back and watch us live next week. And as always, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Treat others as you would want to be treated. And may God treat you how you treat elders and animals.
Thank you. And how about you, TJ?
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody in chat for all of the incredible interaction we've had tonight. And in fact, it's been going on for weeks and weeks at this point. Really love having you all here. We wouldn't be here in the same without you. So looking forward to next Thursday having you join us again so we can go through another one of our topics and carry on and have some discussion and get some great questions. So just thanks for that, and thanks for my two co-hosts for letting me hop up here with you. I love these Thursday nights. It's a great time for us to connect, so I appreciate it.
And hey, for those that made this far on the replay crew, you guys are awesome. You rock. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and this one's for you. If you have questions for us, put in the comments below the videos. Ask away, because Mike can answer. You know what I'm saying? Anyways,
and yeah, Tom, I'll be at NJAS on Saturday. I'll see you there.
Nice. And like TJ was saying, look forward to next Thursday night, same time, 7:00 p.m. sometime. But from now till then, I do have a live stream scheduled Thursday night at 9:00 p.m. Central Time.
Saturday night, yeah.
Yep, every Saturday night.
Yep.
And I gotta say big thanks to the moderators and to my favorite co-host here on YouTube. Thanks, Mariah. Thanks, TJ, for being here. And until later, stay positive, y'all. Positive vibes only. Bye.